Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Dark Park Film Reviews. And I am here today with the one and only OGP.
That's me. That is correct, and you're welcome. No, it is a pleasure to be here. We always have a lot of fun when we're talking movies, TV, whatever the case may be. So it is my pleasure.
Well, my pleasure too. So thank you. And I see you're very green.
I am. I'm very greened out for this Green Lantern discussion here. I thought I would change up the lights, and this one you can't even really tell but there's a greeny thing kind of making me more greenish, but
kind of,
yeah, it's just
I've done nothing. It's just my regular.
Obviously.
But we are here to discuss the Lanterns TV show that is on HBO. It's on Sunday nights, and it just started. So they aired episode 1. There are 8 episodes in this. And wow, is this getting mixed reviews from I hate it to I love it to I like it but hate it. We'll have to see how it goes type of thing. And before we get into this, how well do you know Green Lantern? Because I'm taking it that you probably only know this Green Lantern.
Maybe. I know squat about Green Lantern. I don't even know what that is you're put up right there. Ryan Reynolds, I'm guessing, did a Green Lantern movie, and that is news to me. Not a Green Lantern. I have nothing against Green Lantern, but there are way too many, in my humble opinion, way too many superheroes, and I just don't like the confusion of liking 52 different people. I like the Punisher. I have a select number of characters that I will follow, and so there's a lot of movies out there of other characters and stuff I've never seen or heard of. I've never seen one episode of a Green Lantern show. I've never seen one movie. I've never read one comic book, and I don't know what other format or what other venue I would consume Green Lantern. But I have not consumed any Green Lantern at all. So I am going in this. I watched the first episode, and that popped my Green Lantern proverbial cherry. And so now I'm ready to dive into this franchise, at least for the show. But I do have thoughts on the reviews after when you're ready. I'd like to talk about the reviews more.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because we are going to be reviewing the first episode. We're going to be looking at each episode and do reviews weekly on them. So just to give you an idea, what's that?
So watch us every week. We're going to be putting out an episode talking about all 8 as they go. And right at the beginning of those episodes, hit the thumbs up button before you get. So
yes, please.
Before you forget. So it helps out that guy a lot right there.
Thank you.
It's a story of a man named Johnny.
That's
he
right.
needs you to click the thumbs up button, please.
Moving on. Go ahead. So just to give you an idea, because you don't know. So this is also from the Ryan Reynolds one. It just there are many Green Lanterns. They're all over the place. They all have rings. They are space cops more or less, and they defend whatever areas they're supposed to, defend. And these are all, I personally like the Ryan Reynolds movie. I don't know why people have a hard time with it. To me, it feels like the comic book, which I know very little about. Very little. So I know more than you, but I don't know as much as some other people. Green Lantern has always been okay to me. So these are the Earthbound comic book Green Lanterns. So there are many of them. The very first guy there, the most colorful guy, he was the first. That's Alan Scott. Then the guy on the right, that's Hal. So that's who we've been watching. Then there is John Stewart, who's the black guy here. and then the guy with kind of like that blonde buzz cut, that's Guy Gardner, and you will know him from Superman. And at the very, very top that's Sinestro, and he is going to be the villain of this TV series. So, and eventually they all end up being in the Green Lantern Corps, which they do discuss in the show, or Corps.
Green Lantern Corps, yeah.
Is it always just Corps? I always say Corpse because there's an S.
If there's an E at the end, it's Corpse.
Oh, but it says Corp, the Green Lantern Corps.
Corps. It's like the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps. It's a corps. It's a group of people. Corpse is a dead body that has the E at the end.
Oh, okay. I've been
so yeah, that's the Green Lantern.
This. All right. Yeah. And then you would know, of course, you know, Guy Gardner from James Gunn's Superman, directed by James Gunn. So
yes, he's fun in the movie. He's way better in the TV show with
is it with Peacemaker?
Yeah, Peacemaker. Thank you. Yeah, again, sorry, not the biggest comic book fan, but Peacemaker season 1 great, season 2 but this guy was great. This guy,
yeah, he's great. Well, okay, so this will kind of bring us into the show because people want things to be accurate, right? They want them to be comic book accurate. They want movie or a book accurate. They want all these type of things. We get a Guy Gardner who looks like he does in the comic book. He's got that weird kind of hairdo and stuff. And then people thought he looked stupid. People were like, no, he shouldn't look like that. It's like, that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
You wanted this look.
I think he looks like the guy from Mad TV that always walked around in his underwear.
Look what I could do.
Yeah, exactly. that is who he looks like right there. So this tells you how little I know about the Green Lantern. Is I remember him from the movie and the show. I had no idea he was Green Lantern in those. But and you had mentioned people want accurate to the comic book or accurate to the lore, whatever, you will. But for me, I do find it interesting that you had mentioned in the reviews, and before we go too far, I just kind of wanted to mention the reviews are very opposite of each other. Now, Rotten Tomatoes has the tomato meter is, you have to be careful with this right now because everybody's rating the entire season, but we've only seen one episode. So if you go on Rotten Tomatoes right now, the first episode alone only has 13 reviews and it's scored 100%. But if you look at the entire season, which only one episode's out, it's got a 94 with 81 experts on the tomato meter, but an 83 with over 1,000 ratings from the popcorn meter from the fans. So, but if you scroll down, you see there's side-by-side reviews. One person gives it a 1 and because they're saying Lantern mythos is too goofy to be grounded, no matter how much swearing. So they didn't like the fact that I think John in this episode is kind of a grounded character. And so they're complaining about it. But then you have somebody giving it 5 stars, saying another great entry into the DCU. So people are all over the place. For me personally, I will never go, well, that doesn't match the book, or that doesn't match the comic, or that doesn't fit the lore. It's comics. In my opinion, who cares? This is not, the greatest novel of all time. It's a comic book. So I don't mind if we vary, just make it entertaining and make it fun. And that's where I'm at. But I get there are the diehards that want that stuff. So that's what I wanted to mention about the ratings that you had brought up.
Right. And it's like we got this, the Ryan Reynolds one that everybody hates. But it's the comic book. It is. I'm not 100% fan on this. I don't know the history inside and out. But from what I could see when the movie came out, and there's an extended edition on Blu-ray, it's the comic book. So it's like, Okay, so and that kind of follows the same thing with Guy Gardner. You guys want him to look like the comic book, but you hate him.
Yeah.
So then they give us this, and you still hate it. So it's like, okay, you don't like the Ryan Reynolds one that looks like the comic book. Let's make the show more grounded. We'll do a whole True Detective thing. We'll have the guys in just regular clothes. They'll fly from time to time. They'll use the ring from time to time. You know, we'll make it a little more adult, but yet people still hate it. Who are you going
I think it's
to?
a small minority of people that actually hate this show so far. The reviews are not very negative. I mean, there may be YouTubers are out there, or you can enlighten me who you've seen that's hated it. But in general, what I'm seeing, especially because like the Ryan Reynolds run, 100,000 reviews and it's scored at a 45. Now this one, Lanterns, only has 1,000 reviews, but it's scored at almost, or in the 80s. So it is a stark difference in people's opinions between the two. And you're absolutely right. People hate the Ryan Reynolds one for some reason.
Yeah, it's which is weird. And I did watch reviews today for the show, and some people are calling it boring, wooden, just a True Detective ripoff. And then, but then there are some people, like let's say Nerdrotic, Film Threat, some of the other ones that are real comic book fans that are going, well, I don't, may, well, huh? Maybe we'll have to see. And so it's this real mixed bag. I personally don't mind it being grounded. I don't mind the True Detective thing. It's different. I like deconstructing. I like the end of characters. The originally in the comic books, when a Green Lantern dies, the ring goes off of his finger or her finger or its finger and finds someone who's worthy. So in the comic books, there were two guys, Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan. And Guy Gardner deserved it over Hal Jordan, but Hal Jordan was closer. So the ring went to him and he had to prove himself. He was not a good guy. And eventually he did prove himself and he became everybody's favorite Green Lantern. And then Guy Gardner did get it and all that. So the ring does choose the person. And I, in a way, like that we're kind of at the end of Hal Jordan's run of this, that he's just like, I'm done. I've done this for too long. I'm going to train somebody. I'm just kind of done. And that brings us to, like the people that are in the film, or I'm sorry, the TV series, because it's there. Do you want to get into the story a little bit before getting into?
Well, I wanted to respond to you talking about it being grounded before moving on.
Sure.
Far. So the idea that it's grounded, you have Jon Stewart, who is a grounded character, and then you have Hal Jordan, who's not. So in any good show, you want conflict. You need a story, it needs an arc, it needs a lot of different things to be a good story. If they were both goofballs, you wouldn't have that yin and yang. And so having John, who's grounded, and Hal, who's not, I think makes it a lot of fun. You get good banter between them, and anybody who thinks, I would definitely rebut the argument that Hal or the whole show is grounded because of some of the things that we'll talk about that happened during the show. Like the jukebox thing, he is definitely not grounded. It's funny. It's entertaining. I don't know. I like what's going on between the two of them, and I think it's too early to judge. For somebody to put a stamp on this series after episode 1, I think you're kidding yourself. I mean, look at Alien Earth. The first couple episodes, people were loving Alien Earth for the first like 3 or 4 episodes, and then it fell off the rails. And all the diehard Alien fans turned on it. If they hadn't already turned on it, they turned on it and they hated it. So you have to give it time. And especially even like Peacemaker season 2 started off, I thought, phenomenal. And then at the end, we went sideways. And
Are you forgetting with Peacemaker, the very first episode, like those first scenes, are people walking around with penises, vaginas, and butts in an orgy hanging out?
I didn't need to see penises, but the orgy stuff was hysterical, and it reinforces what kind of mess of a life that Peacemaker has. So I didn't have a problem with that at all. It was the way they ended that season that bugged me.
Hated season 2 from episode 1 on. It's especially with Earth Nazis and the black woman going, well, the Earth I come from is the same thing as here. Fuck off.
Oh, that stuff had me rolling. Them when they found out they were in the alternate universe where they were like everybody was Nazis, I thought that was hysterical. I loved that. So,
no,
but anyway,
I love the Nazi stuff because it's very Star Trek and all that. I just don't like where, because it's James Gunn and he's got to say something in one of the episodes, you do have a black woman who is going, well, where I come from, it's the same as here. No, it isn't. It isn't.
Oh.
It just isn't.
But that's way toward the end of the season where it starts to go off the rails.
Yeah, I like season 1. I hated season 2, and that's this only had one scene where I went, oh, James Gunn, really? Do we have to go down the Peacemaker season 2? And that's when Jon Stewart had sex with the chick in his car. I'm like, that's so unnecessary. It's so unneeded.
But was it? I thought that was great. And then the fact that you find out that it's his wife.
But did you, okay, for someone who knows nothing about Green Lantern at all, and you're going into this completely blind, what did you think of it? Because you messaged me going, we should review this. How many episodes are there? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You watched Lanterns? Wait a minute.
So my thought on it, all in all, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. I was surprised that I did. But I like, and again, you have to take a step back and realize you have, like you said, a bunch of different lanterns. Somebody dies, the ring chooses where it's going next. Not all these people are going to be Ryan Reynolds, Goofy. They're not going to be Hal Jordan, like Kyle Chandler's character. They're not going to be that. They're going to be different people. And so you see this, Jon Stewart, and he comes into town. There's a girl at the bar. If you're a single guy and a very attractive woman at a bar says, let's go outside, and she jumps your bones in a truck, I'm sorry, unless you're, not into women, you're going to take that ride.
It's a James Gunn thing, and I don't think that he understands. I get that this is more adult, but you even have in like Superman, the one guy Lex Luthor shoots in the head, he executes him. It's like, this is for kids, and it's like,
no, it's not anymore. They made it blatantly obvious it's not.
Oh no, thanks to James Gunn. And then Supergirl being a massive alcoholic and drunk, and it's just like, it bombed, of course, that Superman didn't do as well as it should have. Even Creature Commandos, the cartoon that he did, he has to have the very first episode, he has to like bash on men. And then there's this, and I'm just like, okay, we're doing good. I'm really hoping this isn't kill the white guy, and so we can have the black guy, because these 3 Green Lanterns that are in this are hugely popular. So it's not like they race swapped anybody. It's Jon Stewart is probably the second most like favorite, and then Guy Gardner, but then Hal Jordan being the first. So I get it, but I'm just going, and especially with
it's early, man. I think you need to pump the brakes. It's too early to cast judgment on any of this stuff. We've gotten one episode. We don't know. At the very end of this episode, we see there's a shocker. There's a cliffhanger. What's going on? Is somebody dead?
Is it? They made a very big point. There are 14 aliens on this planet that can look like humans and you would never know it. They kept pointing out stuff throughout the entire episode. My guess, and many others, is that's not Hal. Because he also doesn't have
okay, well, maybe it's not Hal.
It could
be. But my point was they left us on a cliffhanger.
Sure.
They left us on a cliffhanger. And so was that character Hal? Was it not? I think it was. So did you mention, I don't know if you mentioned already, we're talking, you should have watched the episode and then joined our conversation. So we're hoping you've already seen this. So spoilers away. At the very end of the episode, you have Hal Jordan sitting on a bleacher, frozen, dead. And we go on to the next episode. So my first thought is that could be one of his like hologram things that popped up earlier in the episode. Or there's ways, it's a comic book. There's ways they can circumvent that and bring him back. And they will. And I know for a fact that they will, because I know, spoiler alert, Hal Jordan is in every episode of this season. So he's not going away after episode 1. I don't know, and I don't want to cast judgment if it's going to be passing of the torch or something along those lines. I just want this to be, and the good thing for me is not being a fan of Green Lantern. Prior to this, I have no, I'm not picking a side. I'm not in Hal's camp. I'm not in John's camp. I'm in entertain me camp. And I thought the first episode was good. Now, there are parts of it that, you know, in rewatching that may have been a little slow. If people want to argue that it wasn't, you know, that it was slow. There were parts that were kind of slow, but we were building the story. We were introducing us to the characters. Episode 1, that's the responsibility of the creators and the director to let us know who we're looking at, who is involved, and what we care about going forward in this season. And I think sometimes that's not always fun. And at least this way, we got introduced to almost everybody. There's a big one that's not in here yet, but we got introduced to him without going Disney, where this is Mickey Mouse. He is a mouse who is funny, and he has a girlfriend who's Minnie Mouse. Disney does things so cheesy, where they introduced the characters kind of naturally as the show progressed. And I like all the characters. I like where it's going. And I am excited for you know, the episodes to come. And I won't cast any type of judgment until we get a full season in.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people seem to be stopping themselves. That they're going, well, they didn't answer this, they didn't answer this, they didn't answer that. Well, what's going on with this?
Episode.
Well, is this, and they will point out, dude, we have 7 more episodes, and these are an hour, so there's going to be a lot of information given. The things that I do like in it, I don't mind the True Detective thing. I've only seen the first season. Once I found out it was an anthology, I stopped. I thought it was just going to continue with the same characters. Maybe I should go back. I don't know. I like
the
that
season with what's her name, Clarice Starling, whatever her real name is.
Oh, Jodie Foster.
Thank you. That is a good season. I like that season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've heard decent things about different, but I guess I just wasn't really prepared for it at the time. You know, that it's kind of like American Horror Story, where each season is a different thing.
Yeah, each season is totally different story, could be different place or whatever. So you have to, it is American Horror Story, like in that sense. But the season with Jodie Foster, there was times where I'm like, this is like, I'm getting The Thing vibes, because it's all snow and stuff like that. You might like it.
Okay. And it's all right. And I like it being in the desert, the opposite of snow. but I do like it being in the desert. I enjoyed all that. I do kind of like the driving and the walking and the sitting. None of that stuff bothers me at all. I like all the actors. They do, I guess, because they can. They say fuck every 5 seconds, but I mean,
this is James Gunn's universe, though. It's his universe, and we've established that it's not for children. So I'm okay with it.
Come to the conclusion that James Gunn knows comics and hates them. I do not think that he likes comic books at all. I really don't think he does, because he just doesn't get it. And it's one of those things where I am scared of what could be happening. Because
I wouldn't it's, get offended when they give you something to get offended about. Now, I wouldn't be apprehensive about the show.
This is why.
But I'm curious, with this in mind, and this is a bit of a different tangent here. What do you think the target audience for this is? I don't think, and for specifically for most comic books, the target audience isn't for 8-year-olds. It's for teens and 20-year-olds and 30s.
With James Gunn, completely unknown. Unknown. These are the two reasons why it scares me.
Yeah.
This guy right here, this is the TV sequel to the movie / comic book for Watchmen.
Yeah.
This is Damon Lindelof.
I've heard that's terrible.
He is one of the wokest people out there ever. Absolutely ever. He is horrible. He has written some of the worst TV shows, movies. He's a showrunner. Awful. This is horrible. There's one season, and it is white man bad, black man or black woman in this case good. The other thing that scares me is this. And this is Tom King. He's the other writer. So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is what they based Supergirl off of. Once again, this is incredibly woke. Really woke. They are both really woke. And James Gunn seems to kind of be that way too. So if we're supposed to just be, okay, we're going to get rid of the old white, crusty old white guy, and we're going to bring in the young black guy, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to. I don't know if I could survive the show. But
yeah, I think you're worrying about it before you have to. I understand there's a history, there's a trend of shit being fed to us by James Gunn, but maybe that's all on James Gunn. Maybe it's on the studios saying, "Hey, you have to check these boxes." I don't know, but I kind of think we owe the actors and everybody else involved with this the opportunity to see it before casting judgment.
Okay. So these are our main people here. So we got Green Lantern, of course, Hal Jordan. We also have Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner. And then there's the actor who's going to be playing Sinestro. So that's our main villain. I'm happy with every person here. I like all these actors. I think that they're good, as I'm sure there'll be more. I am confused that if Guy Gardner is in this, why Superman hasn't been mentioned, since a lot of these characters are going to be in Man of Tomorrow. So I would think if the sheriff is going, well, you're saying that, Hal Jordan, well, we know you've gone to planets, we know you're this, we know you're that. Why Superman is never brought up? It's kind of like the Penguin. Why Batman?
But this is a show about. It's a show about lanterns. It's not a show about that. So, like in the Punisher TV show or in Daredevil, we don't, in those shows, we don't talk about, maybe there was a reference of Spider-Man or some of the other characters, but I think to give this character or set of characters their due, we don't need to focus on what's going on. And I think we know at this point, in these type of movies, yeah, we're like, okay, well, Marvel, why is Spider-Man fighting these bad guys himself when there's the whole what do they call the Avengers? And so where are the Avengers to come
Oh, I
help
can answer
Spider-Man?
that because
Well,
Spider-Man is so me.
But in every, but I'm talking story, not movie,
Right.
not companies. So in every Marvel story, they'll give you like the excuse of, oh, well, you know, Thor's busy doing this and Superman's doing that, or the Avengers are not allowed to be superheroes no more because the government said they were bad or whatever. They give you a reason. I'm okay with Green Lantern going, this is my job. I'm an alien. I don't have to worry about Superman. I'm just going to do my job and I'm going to train this guy. I don't feel that there was any need to bring up any other character like superhero wise in episode 1.
I think if now maybe when Guy Gardner shows up, it will be brought up. But it is just weird. And you're correct. This has been done in other things where why wouldn't Spider-Man call, I don't, an Avenger, you know, the Captain America? Why, when you get the new Captain America,
Marvel does it all the time.
It's why wouldn't these things happen? Why in the Penguin? I think the biggest criticism of that is that Batman is never even mentioned until the very end when you then see the bat symbol. But I find it weird that if he's been here for like 30 years as the Green Lantern, that there wouldn't be anything that says, and it's all because of Guy Gardner, oh, well, Superman is here, or, you know, Lex Industries or Lexco,
but
whatever it's now
that
called.
Demoralizes, or that, you know, that kind of, it casts a negative light on the character if they do, because it's like, oh, well, Big Brother Superman's here to fix it if we can't. This is, you know, if I buy a Punisher comic book, I understand Punisher can't fly, so I don't want Captain Marvel showing up to save the day. I want to read a book about the Punisher. I want to see a show about the Punisher. This is Green Lantern. So I get what you're saying. In the universe, in the world that James Gunn has created, all these characters intermingle with each other. But this is a show about the Lanterns. I just want a show about the Lanterns. I'm okay. I get where you're coming from, but I feel like I don't need that. We know they're there, but this isn't a show about them. They're allowed to have, maybe this is where this takes place during a time where Superman was preoccupied. You know, he's, you know, busy, you know, in Lex Luthor's chamber of kryptonite or something, and he couldn't get out. You know, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well, you saw Hal use this, so that's his ring. But
I thought that was a cigarette lighter,
and it can also make money and a bottle cap opener. So
yes,
it can basically make whatever you want. Like when Jon Stewart says, you know, when he gets into the car wreck, he goes, "I made, was it bubble wrap?" Because that's the thing, that if you watch it, he could make a Hot Wheel, he could make a hammer, he could make whatever it is that he, you know, his brain just kind of thinks of. But the alien that we, you know, the guy that we find out is an alien, he does mention a lantern, and won't the ring need to be recharged? So this is the lantern that's in the show. So eventually they're
this
gonna
show
have to,
or that looks like
this show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, this is what, when I Googled it, that's what comes up. Is that lantern. So it's at some point he's going to have to take the ring and he puts it into the circle in the middle and he recharges the ring. So because it can run out of power.
Well,
so
and I like
it's
that.
Just
the fact
kind of updating you a little bit on stuff.
Sure. And the idea that you have to recharge the ring is good, because if you just had this ring and nobody could defeat you as long as you had the ring, then you're all powerful. You have to, like Superman has this kryptonite. You have to have something that is able to defeat you, and that's, you could run out of power. So I like that about the character.
I find this interesting that you're actually into this, and it's because you're not a comic book guy. Like you'll go see something maybe because one of your kids wants to see it, or Spider-Man because you like Spider-Man and Punisher. But it's interesting that you're
I like a good story. I don't like the same old dumb shit. And one thing that I appreciate about this first episode, and I know it's more of a Marvel thing, but not once in this first episode did we get the stupid ass superhero pose where it seems like almost where they're down on one knee and one foot and they got one arm in the air and they're like ready to go, like they're about to start a relay race or something. They do that stupid pose, and we didn't get that at all in this, and I like that. I like a good story, and I felt like this, it's set off to have a compelling story. It's layered. We have different things going on. We have a guy being trained. He has a backstory. We have Hal, who has a backstory. And then, obviously we have now William Macon, who doesn't like aliens, and he's worried about the Earth being, invaded.
aliens
or
who aren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
That we need to build something like a wall.
Well, but
to keep
careful where you're going with that, because in the show, the one thing that I was like, uh-oh, are they portraying this guy to be right-wing Republican who hates illegal aliens? Or is that the undertone of this character? And so I was like, yeah. So I obviously we're not supposed to like that guy, and I did not like that guy. But yeah, there is definitely an illegal alien sub motif plot thing in there. So I don't know, but
I mean, but going off of aliens from outer space, if knowing who made this, the people who I brought up, if it's supposed to have this weird subtext of illegal aliens coming over the border, ICE and all that stuff, to me, that is a huge difference than an alien colony coming from outer space, like Independence Day, and wiping us out with spaceships. I mean, that but battle Los Angeles and fighting us with laser guns on the ground. So if that's their idea of, oh, well, we're going to kind of put in this subtext of illegal,
yeah,
to me, it fails.
I don't know that they were doing that, but that was a question that came to mind when we were introduced that character.
Me too. And if what he is saying is correct, well, I'm worried about aliens coming from Mars. I agree with him. I think you should be, because they bring it up with Superman. They've brought it up with him in Man of Steel. They'll sit there and go, dude, you're an alien who could do anything. You're like a god.
Yeah, but
we are going to watch you. We are frightened of you.
But earlier in the episode, we did have Hal say that the universe is typically a pretty peaceful place. That being said, we maybe should be, before we just attack everybody, we maybe should be, okay, let's get to know these people. Let's find out what their motives are. Maybe they don't want to wipe us off the earth and take over our planet. So I think we need to be a little cautious with that. And that's why we don't like this guy, or we shouldn't like this guy.
Well, and he's obviously hiding something. He knows that Jon Stewart slept with his wife. I mean, because he mentions eating off of a man's barbecue.
My guess is that is either a arranged marriage or they are government employees, or they're on somebody's payroll and they're not really in a real marriage.
I mean, did you watch the trailer at the very, 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 very end for coming?
Credits start, I'm gone.
Okay, because there is a trailer showing a bunch of stuff that's coming up. So it's the other thing that I noticed in the second viewing that I did is when Jon Stewart is driving present day, is he looks over and it looks like it's the ranch and it's just decimated. So
That's in
something
a
happened.
trailer or something?
No, it's at the end of the episode when he's driving and he, where Hal is dead, and he's kind of looking
Oh.
around and he looks in the darkness and there's just like something in the rubble,
Mm.
and it looks like it's the ranch. So something happens between 2016 and 2026 with the ranch, I guess, being
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it,
yeah,
you
I
know,
didn't, it was dark. I didn't really pay attention to the background on that part. I was just wondering where he was going, and I was more analyzing him. Does he look 10 years older? I didn't think
no,
so. Obviously, from the original part where we go 1996, where he's a kid, John is a kid, and then jumping to 2016. Yes, it's going to be two different characters, but I think from 2016 to 2026, we should have showed a little aging, or
throw some
it's
gray in
10
there.
years, people. Yeah, something, because now he's obviously at least 38 years old in 2026, based on how old his character was and 30 years have gone by. So he's at least 37, 38 years old, and if not 39 or 40. So we should have looked older than we did. But whatever, that's nitpicking. That's
Well,
all
it's a yes and no. I mean,
inconsequential.
because he's not a lantern yet, because he doesn't have that ring, because he thought Hal, where he was looking on Hal's finger and it wasn't there, so he must not have it. He should age like a regular person. But I think the biggest one was the sheriff, who just looks the same. And it's like, I don't know, maybe give her a different haircut, give her something that's a little bit different. But I didn't really care. I mean, that much.
It's nitpicky kind of stuff. Did you want to dive into the story at all? Because there's certain elements of story that I really enjoyed that I kind of wanted to.
Yes, you mentioned that you took notes and stuff. So
Yeah,
go for it.
This is what I do. Yeah,
that's true.
So we start off the very beginning of the show. You have John Stewart and his brothers. And every time I hear the name John Stewart, I think of the comedian. I'm having a hard time getting past that. But John Stewart and his brothers, they're like at home. They're waiting for their dad to come home, and they're scared to death of their dad. Well, he comes in. You find out he's a Marine, and you get it. And he's wearing a belt and uniform and stuff. It's very plausible that the dad was like a drill instructor in the Marine Corps. And speaking as a Marine veteran myself, Marine dads can be very intimidating. So I really liked the way that worked. And then when he took him outside at first, knowing nothing about Green Lantern, I'm like, oh no, this kid is going to get Marine lingo IT'd. He's going to get punished. He's going to be doing push-ups or jumping jacks or something out there. But no, we get him shooting, we get the dad shooting an apple off his head and asking him, are you scared? And he's like, no. But what I liked about that, did you notice on the wall behind where John Stewart was standing as a kid, there was a shitload of other gunshot holes in that shed. So this was not the first time that happened. And they got higher and higher and higher. So you could see this started at a young age.
I didn't notice that.
And they were going up as he grew. So I like that detail. That is something I did not notice in my first viewing, but I did notice it in the second viewing. So I really like that. And then so we jump 20 years and we see John is in a boxing ring. He's training. He's doing these, he's obviously in shape and stuff. And then he goes outside, leaves the boxing gym, and then Hal shows up in the old pimp ride, which is very funny. That car, because this is 96 now, but that car is like probably like an 84, whatever it was. But it was a pimp ride with pimp music playing, the boogie shoes. And I told you already, John, that it bugs me. And rewatching it the second time, they drove from downtown Los Angeles across the 4th Street Bridge. That's where they went, the 4th Street Bridge, because I know LA. And then they drove out to the desert, which is like at least an hour and a half away, and the same song plays the entire. Now you can argue they had on repeat. You can argue it came back on, but they were in 3 different places. And I know,
but it's like two people are talking. They get into the car. They're at like an apartment, and they get into the car and they drive away. Cut to them in the desert, and they're having a continuous conversation from where they left off. It isn't, oh, we're into the conversation for 2 hours. It's no, it is literally connected, even though now they're in the desert. So I think that's just what they were doing, is they were just taking, no, we're just going to continue this conversation. The song's going to play.
LA is right next to the desert. That's just
something like that.
In that universe,
because
LA,
I noticed that
4 minutes away.
The song, it's like, wow, this must be a really extended mix.
Yeah. And that scene was great, and you needed that scene, so you had to do something with it. And because you have Hal talking to John about training, and he puts the ring on the dash, and he's like, I'll meet you at the taco stand, and lets the car fly off the cliff. And that's when, what you like earlier, you were mentioning about the bubble wrap, that when John puts the ring on, he thinks bubble wrap around him is what saved his life when the car crashed down the hill. So you needed that scene.
But could you imagine? Taco stand was the last thing he heard. So could you imagine when he's putting the ring on, he goes, taco, and he turns like a giant taco.
Turns into a big taco. Yeah.
And he's just walking down the street with all the taco crap on him, all this like a burrito.
And that would be very funny. But I think because of his discipline, and also his dad was a Marine, they let us know in this episode that John Stewart was a Marine sniper. And so it's, he is a disciplined man. So you would think he'd be pretty good at controlling his thoughts, but no, you're right. That would have been very funny if it crashed and he's in a big pile of taco shell. So then as he's walking, then you get the hologram, which at first you're like, what is going on? And I almost wanted to rewind and go, did I miss something? Because this Hal doesn't know John. What is going on here? But then you find out he's like this hologram thing and I like the fact that he's like, lanterns have to upload at least once a week or whatever. That to me is very funny. And it lets somebody like myself, who doesn't know squat about this character or this universe, know that there is more to it. It's not just he was born with this power, he's got the ring already. And this is where, like, at the 20-minute mark, if that, he's got this ring. And the opening credit played at 7 minutes in. And so all this stuff happened in the first 7 minutes of the show. I know that there's a higher, like, force or whatever that Green Lantern has to answer to. I know that there's more than one lantern. There's a lot going on, a lot explained in that first 7 minutes. I thought they did a good job with that for somebody who doesn't know anything about the character. But I did think, and this is just funny fodder kind of stuff, but the mom and the daughter asking why he doesn't wear the suit.
All the taco stuff, all the taco stand stuff. I loved the autographs and people taking pictures with him. And I loved all of that stuff. Yeah.
But the daughter, like, throwing the mom under the bus, going like, my mom likes when you wear the suit. You can see the mom like blushing, like embarrassed. But and then the guy comes up and he's like, free dessert. Why don't you wear the suit? And Hal's like, oh, it's like wearing a tie. It's just a pain in the ass, kind of thing. So that was funny. And that's part of the stuff that tells you he is not a grounded character. He is a funny, laugh at character. John is a grounded character who takes everything seriously. And one thing that I watch specifically when I rewatch, because I hate when they do this in superhero movies, when the superhero flies, I don't know why they make superheroes have like jet exhaust noise flying away. Hal takes off and it's nothing but wind and then a sonic boom and he's gone. Perfect. Thank you for that, because he doesn't have rockets on his feet. Iron Man, give me the rocket sound. But Green Lantern, no, he flies away, and I thought it was great. And then so then we get to Nebraska, and John shows up 6 hours later, and which is plausible. It would be tough, but it's plausible that he could have got there 6 hours later. And he's confronted by the cop, and I love the reaction. It's like these people appreciate Hal, but they're like, oh shit, not another one. Like there's another lantern we got to deal with, but they don't realize that he's in training and he is a more serious guy that they would probably rather work with. But as he's learning, he screws up right away, and he goes down to the field and talks about the alien guy in the short sleeve shirt. And he tells the sheriff, he's like, oh, I screwed up. And she's like, yeah, well, that chase was great. I liked, how he decides I'm going to cut him off at the pass kind of thing, come out the other side, and the alien guy runs out of the gym and he punches him in the face, knocks him out. Sheriffs take him away. That whole sequence was fun. Meeting the sheriff was fun. And one thing that I do want to, before we wrap up here, and I know this is the first episode. We got a lot to cover, so I think this is going to be longer than episode.
We're fine.
It's longer than what we're going to do for episode 2, 3, and 4, because we won't need to talk about who the characters are and how they got here and all this.
Well,
we're going to be talking more just the episode.
Pirates of the Caribbean videos are like an hour 10, so it's fine.
No, this is true. But so I like that Hal's like, oh, I just got a feeling this is an alien. I got a feeling, when we really know, because we know the minute the hologram Hal said there's hail in Nebraska, Hal was gone. So we knew that's the code word for aliens. So we knew that there was aliens in Nebraska. So then they go to the bar, and this was a very fun scene where he takes the ring and he creates the fake $20 bill and he puts it in and he's pushing the buttons, but we don't see what song he's selecting. And then you hear this song play, and it plays again, and it plays again, and it plays again. And so it was intentional. I liked that Hal was several steps ahead of the other, of us and John and everything else that was going on. He was setting up. He wanted a bar fight so he could go to jail, so he could get close to this alien to talk to him. And the song, what an annoying song. I don't know what it was or anything.
Yeah. It's a classic song. It's old, but yeah, you can see where it get on people's nerves.
Yes. And for me, that scene, not only was it was a great scene because we have the other people in the bar, and they knew Hal. They're like, Hal, if you play that damn song again. So they know that's Green Lantern that they're going to get in a fight with. And so you have that aspect, them drinking. He's like, pour me around, and another and another and another. There's a lot going on. Then you got the girl at the bar who turns up later to be Macon's wife. But the most important part of that scene for me was when John asked Hal, how did you get the ring? This is introductory to the Green Lantern for me. Now I get to find out. And they explained, he says that he was in his early years as a test pilot, and he was at home in bed. And then all of a sudden the room starts shaking. He wakes up. He's in a green bubble. The green bubble flies a couple 100 miles in like 10 seconds. And which apparently was somewhere in Nebraska, very near where they were. And so that's all going to come back into play about the origin of Hal being Green Lantern is going to come, I think, full circle in this series. But when he lands somewhere in Nebraska, there's an alien talking to Hal before he was ever Green Lantern. And he says, hey, whoever has this ring has to protect this quadrant of the universe from bad guys. And I'm dying. So, basically now it's up to you, to keep the peace. And so that lets Hal know, hey, I got this ring. I'm going to have special powers, and I have to fight off bad aliens. That is the backstory of this character that I needed to be able to appreciate the rest of this series. So I think we needed that in there for the people that hate homework and watching shows or movies, and so you didn't have to do any homework at all. It's all explained right there. So
which is
I
more or
thought that
less
was great.
correct. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, and that's true. So the is that like basically the way it happened in the comic books, or would you know?
It's more or less. I mean,
Okay.
it's. I mean, I know definitely in the Ryan Reynolds movie that's it. He's the test pilot, and the alien crashes, and the ring chooses him, and it's so it's very similar to what the TV show says. But in the comic book, it was between the two, Guy Gardner and him, and I think it's a little more, but it's more or less correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the comedy in there too was very funny. So when Hal walks away to go get in the fight, the girl, Miss Macon, asks John if he was going to say yes, because Hal didn't get down on one knee, because he gave him a ring, like proposing to him. So I thought that was a funny joke. And then you see them out in the truck, which I do think there's going to be more to that aspect of him and her having sex in the truck, and her, why she betrayed her husband and why the husband knows. But using the ring as a cigarette lighter there was great. I thought, how, like, if you're trying to impress a woman, how much more could you impress somebody from a guy's perspective that my ring can become a lighter or make a bottle opener or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the ring would work with two people, because I think Hal does need to be dead, and then the ring would work for Jon Stewart. But whatever.
So yeah, in this show, it's definitely working for them both. So because the car running off the hill, but that is interesting lore to dive into, to find out how and that's James Gunn going, well, we're throwing that rule out the window for this show here.
Sure.
And then they go to the sheriff's, her family's compound stuff there, and that's where we meet William Macon and the creepy people there. They have dinner. We find out that it's Purna Jagannathan, who plays Zoe Macon, that was the one that banged John, and that made for a little awkward scene at the end.
But Hal was impressed.
Oh no, he was, as he should have been. That character.
We've only been here for 24 hours.
And if you for characters in a film, we need to establish their MO and what makes them tick and who they are, and that tracks. The way that he responded of being impressed, like 24 hours, man, you're already in trouble for having sex with dude's wife, like that's right. Proud of you. But then we do get the talking about 14 species can fit, can however they worded it, can pretend to be humans without us knowing.
Like blood tests, x-rays, they list off a whole bunch of things of why they can't be detected. And so the alien there, who is most assuredly only going to be in one episode. So before we could talk about the rest of the cast members in a moment, but this alien was played by Chris Coy, who I am a fan of. Chris Coy. He was in, I think, just one episode of Sons of Anarchy. He was in one episode of Lucifer. He's been just like, for the most part throughout his career, in like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He was in an episode of Homeland, which is a show I loved. He was in 9 episodes of Banshee. I love that show. He was in 4 episodes of Walking Dead. So he's done a little of this, little of that. But this is a reunion of sorts for him and Nathan Fillion, because he was also in one episode of Castle, which Nathan Fillion was the main character there. So, he and something called The Deuce. I don't know that, but he was in that. But he is. Oh, also he was in 8 episodes of Black Rabbit,
which if you've not seen Black Rabbit, that is a great show starring Jude Law and Jason Bateman. But so I am a fan of Chris Coy, and when I saw him there, I was like, oh, that's cool, that's great. And then they sit there in the jail and he blows up. So nice knowing you, Chris Coy. Thank you. But I thought that was great. The way, even though Green Lantern put the ball around him, or the sphere, the force of the explosion still like blew out the wall of the jail and was, you know, kind of reverberated throughout the town and stuff. So it would have killed everybody if Green Lantern wasn't able to do that. But I thought that was great. And then the sheriff is sitting there and she's like, he's not an alien. He's not an alien. He's not an alien. And then when Chris Coy goes, let's just say I was an alien. And she goes like, oh shit. I don't remember verbatim what she said. But I was like, oh, it was so great. It was so great. So,
well, and to get the alien to that point of asking him questions that, you know, who the president, the, you know, who won this game,
Harry Potter
and then all of a sudden Harry Potter, and the guy's like, what? It's like the stuff that you would know on a list. You're living in this area. This is the president. This is this. This is that. He would know because he would memorize it from a list. But he's not going to memorize what school Harry Potter goes to. Yeah. And that's what does him in, I think, is that. And he gives very, very robotic answers, you know. You know, Barack Obama is the president after, you know, and it's very robotic sounding, like he's repeating it from a list. Yeah. Oh, and Hal Jordan going, that's all you've got to say about Barack Obama? No, he goes, that's all you got to say about Barack Hussein Obama? Like, you're a white man from Nebraska. You're going to have an opinion. Nebraska is never going to be confused with a blue state. So, you know, that it was a very funny interaction. And I thought it was put together well. The scene and the structure of it was put together well. And then, so, then we fast forward 10 years. And John's in Nebraska. Hal is nowhere to be seen. He meets up with the sheriff, and they go up to the bleachers, and that's where they find Hal dead. Cliffhanger time, and I'm ready for more. I thought the story was compelling. There's different layers to it. I thought they were smart about how they told the story. And I like the characters, so I am looking forward. There's so many, like Marvel. I have Marvel fatigue. I used to say like superhero fatigue, but I think it's just Marvel fatigue, because Marvel has this cookie cutter format to every damn thing they do, and I'm just so tired of it. They're trying to get out of that shell, I think. But Marvel, you get, we start off with this superhero is hated by everybody, then, and has to be in hiding. Then superhero saves the day. Then everybody loves superhero, and superhero has to go away. Like it's the same fucking thing every time. So I'm glad this doesn't fit that mold. No, and it's very different. And like I said, I like the deconstruction stuff. I enjoy the end of things. I prefer the ending of the Beatles to the beginning of the Beatles. I want to know. I differ with you on that opinion, sir. Well, it's what, but I get what you're saying, but I like early. Yeah, I don't really care about how 20, 30 years ago. I like that he's burnt out. He's got the gray hair. Yeah. He's still taking pictures and everybody acting really nice, even though he's probably like, ugh. And it's just, and I like all that. I enjoy that. I like that it is them walking or them driving, and I just enjoy the end. Like I was so bummed whenever they do a documentary on the monkeys, or they did the TV movie, they left out the end. And it's like, the ending to the monkeys is the most interesting thing about them. We all know how they were created because of the Beatles, but what broke them up? What made this stop? And that to me is interesting. And from reading and interviews and stuff, I know it, but it would have been nice to see it. So that's what I like about this type of stuff. And Marvel, man, did they make a huge mistake. Wonder Man came out. Everybody went, this is really good. Not a lot of people watched it. Wonder Man. Yeah.
It's like, is that like Wonder Woman's guy
No,
or something?
no. Wonder Woman is DC. Wonder Man is
Oh, okay, okay,
Marvel.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay. Yeah.
originally actually my friend Chris, he worked on Wonder Man, and um uh uh Chris Jeff hang on, it's Chris Jeff Johnson, who I interviewed for a while back. He worked on Wonder Man the
Oh,
comic
okay,
book,
yeah.
but it's a show that is about Hollywood, about a black actor who's with Ben Kingsley. So he plays that same character that he's been playing, like the fake Mandarin. And it's him going to auditions to get to play the role of the new Wonder Man. So they do a race swap, but it works. It is so well made. It's a drama. There's only two superhero things in the entire show,
Mm.
but it's just him on auditions and meeting up with different people, and we find out that superheroes can't use their powers in movies because it will kill people, so it's
Mm.
illegal, and there's all this great stuff, and they canceled it. Season
Oh,
1 was great, and then they're like, yeah, we're going to do season 2, and they canceled it.
huh.
So I am so disappointed with stuff like that when they actually have something good. They get rid of it, but then they keep garbage, and it's like, I am really hoping, I got my fingers crossed, that Lanterns is good, and it
Yeah.
doesn't, because not once in this movie did they mention Jon Stewart as being black. Not once.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
None of
yeah,
this stuff. Race wasn't brought up. Politics wasn't brought up. Religion wasn't brought up. None of
yeah.
this shit was brought up. I mean, I guess you could say politics as in we want to stop the aliens from coming down from Mars.
Yeah, that was,
But
if anything, that's very, very, very low key though. So there
yeah,
was nothing in this that bothered me like that.
yeah. So I'm really
Yeah.
hoping it sticks
And it's
with that.
sad that nowadays that is a concern with everything as we go in, that are we going to have somebody's politics shoved down our throat, whether it's this way or that way. Give us a comic book. Let us just, we're here for a break from reality. We don't need the crap we're being shown on TV or what we see on our news feeds on our phone. We're here for a break from reality, not to be reminded of what is going on out there. And so that is nice, but it's sad that's where we're at with the state of entertainment in
Yeah.
general nowadays.
Well, because you don't think of, oh, Independence Day, it's an allegory for the border and all that. No, they're just aliens who want to kill us and take over the planet.
Yeah.
Battle Los Angeles. No, they just want to kill us. They just want to come down and take our water or resources or whatever it might be. But it's not that they're like, oh, these are, Chinese aliens that are coming in to. No, that's Red Dawn. That's Russians.
Yeah.
We could deal with that. That's
Yeah.
a product of the 80s. But it's
It's
just,
not the Invid invasion.
yeah,
What's that from? Test. The Invid invasion.
I don't know.
You should know, because if you know me, you just go to where I would go. Robotech.
Oh, okay.
When the Invid took over the Earth and humans were basically almost wiped out and on the run.
Yeah.
So I do want to, before we wrap, I do want to kind of talk about the characters. And so Build Top is Aaron Pierre, who has done not a lot of other things that I'm really familiar with. He was in 8 episodes of Genius as Malcolm X, and something called The Morning Show. Oh, he was in Krypton. Okay, so I mean, I've heard of Krypton. I haven't seen that. But he doesn't have the longest. Oh, he was in Old. Okay, I was going to say I knew he looked familiar, but he was in Old, and that we have talked about that, and it's just, oh man, it's terrible. Oh, and he voiced Mufasa in the new.
He's an interesting looking
animated
guy with the blue eyes, and he definitely has a look about him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is unique. He is unique. So he stands out, in a crowd. But I thought he was great. I liked his discipline, the way he portrayed the character. I thought was great. but then Kyle Chandler, who I think the most recognizable face for me, as far as the guys go. But believe it or not, he was in one episode of Lanterns.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
No
But he was in
way.
the new movie The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Fun movie. And I think The Rip. Oh, no, wait. Is that right? Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were their crooked cops. Yeah. But Kyle Chandler, we know from Godzilla versus Kong. There's a lot of stuff here, which I'm not seeing. Wolf of Wall Street, Argo, Super 8. So all kinds of things. Voice in one episode, I guess, of King of the Hill, but he's been in a lot of stuff. We just recognize him. Oh, going way back, and I don't know if you would probably ever seen this, but the movie Pure Country that stars George Strait.
I know of it.
That. Okay. So he's been in a ton of stuff. He's been around forever and ever, and he's a great actor. So, having him as Hal, I thought he did a great job, and I think he's a good actor.
Oh yeah, no, he's a very good actor. Yeah.
And then
he's also directed a couple TV things.
Oh, Friday Night Lights. Oh, okay. I think wasn't he in I think he was in Friday Night Lights too. I think he acted.
He's the dad, I believe. Yeah, like the main dad.
Okay. But for me also, I wanted to mention Kelly MacDonald, the sheriff. I love her. I know her first and foremost from Boardwalk Empire. I thought if you've seen Boardwalk Empire, you recognize her right away. And going back to find, I forget her name. It's been forever since I watched Boardwalk, but that was kind of like that was HBO's answer to The Sopranos after The Sopranos was over. But she played Margaret Thompson in Boardwalk Empire. But she's also been in Holmes and Watson movie. I think was that Will Ferrell.
Okay, that was horrible. Yeah.
God, what else? She was in something else. No Country for Old Men. Great movie. Love that movie. And she's a voice actress in Brave. So she's done all kinds of stuff. Been around forever as well.
Oh yeah, Train Spotting. She was in Train Spotting. She was the underaged girl who threatened. I think it's Ewan McGregor, who's just like if you don't, I haven't seen the film in decades, but she wants something and says, like, well, if you don't do it, then I'll tell them, that I'm underaged or something like that. But yeah, she's been around for a very long time.
Yeah. Oh, she's great. And she is doing very well for being freshly 50 years old. She turned 50 this year. So she looks great for being 50. Yes. But when I saw her, I was like, oh, this is great. Love her. The actor who plays William Macon, I'm just looking right now. Oh, he was also in No Country for Old Men. Oh, and Deadwood. I was like, he looks familiar to me, but I wouldn't know where. But he has a look of an asshole. So Garrett, how we say Dillahunt. But I think, for me, No Country for Old Men and Deadwood are the two that are going to stand out for me that he did. Oh, he was in Army of the Dead, your favorite movie. He was in 41 episodes of Fear of the Walking Dead. Huh. Okay, I've not seen any of Fear.
Okay.
But Deadwood, I really liked Deadwood, so that I'm sure is probably where I most definitely recognize him. Oh, he's one episode of Elementary. I loved Elementary. Did you ever
Look
watch
what
that?
I'm circling right here.
Oh God. Oh
Look what
God.
I'm circling right here.
Not the worst movie ever. Not the worst movie ever. Not the best. Oh, he was in Killing Him Softly too. Killing Him Softly is great. Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini. So yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh yeah, he played a Terminator. Yeah.
So yeah, man, he's been acting since One Life to Live. Wow. He was in One Life to Live. He played Charlemagne Moody. How funny. Back in 93 or 94. Crazy.
Yeah, he's got a ton of stuff. Yeah, there it is right down there. Ooh, there, yeah.
Yeah. So
7%.
yeah, the choice of cast is great. And then of course, I mean, Nathan Fillion, who you look at his face for me, because my wife watched the show like religiously, is Castle. But he's great in Slither too. Like, and I had not seen Slither till within the last couple of years. And as such a great movie.
James Gunn.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Written and directed by James Gunn.
But he's one of the guys, like very few people have a TV career and take off to become a movie star. And Nathan Fillion is kind of doing that. And the other one that comes to mind would be like Bruce Willis, who was it Moonlighting? Was that the show with him? And was it Demi Moore that was in that show with him? No. Bruce Willis and
no, it's I'm blanking.
Whoever
the blonde. Yeah.
But anyways, but you know, TV to becoming a movie star. But you know, he's obviously, this is TV again, but with Peacemaker's TV, I guess, but Superman and Deadpool, Wolverine. Well, I guess he was just, they say voice in that. I thought I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass here with him, but he's just, his career's taken off. He's just really had a big career after that show.
And looking at his stuff back in 2019, he was Green Lantern. He was the voice of Green Lantern in the animated film Reign of Superman.
Okay.
So he's been playing Green Lantern.
Not his first rodeo, yeah.
No. Yeah. Even looking down, the death of Superman, Green Lantern voice.
Yeah. I like how he first in 2011, Green Lantern Emerald Knights, the whatever voice of Hal Jordan right there. So yeah, Hal Jordan has been in his life for a long time now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So no, it's Miss Match, whatever Miss Match is. I thought that was Miss March. Oh, he was in Saving Private Ryan. Wow. So I mean, what a great career for him. He's been around acting since 93. So he is a very, very funny, because he can play a super serious role, but he can also be goofy, like we see in Superman.
Yeah. No, he's a good actor.
Yeah. And so the girl that John slept with, who is
I did not.
You didn't like her?
No, she was okay.
Oh, you did not what?
Oh, you said John, the girl that he slept with, and I said I did not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Ha ha ha.
Oh, Jason Ritter is in this.
Yeah.
John Ritter's son.
Oh, yeah. I just hadn't got that far down the list yet. But yeah,
Okay.
John Ritter's son. No relation to Kristen Ritter, who is Jessica Jones. So, yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, I saw, and I love how, and Jason Ritter. So that's, he plays the sheriff's husband, I think, right?
Oh, that is him, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah.
So I mean, spare no expense on this cast. But the Purna Jagannathan, I wouldn't know her at all. I scrolling down, I'm not really seeing anything really that I even recognize her in. Oh, but apparently she was in 2 episodes of Better Call Saul, so I obviously have seen her before. But she's looks obviously like Indian or something with that name, but I thought she did a great job. She came across as maybe not a maybe MILF is not the right word, but maybe like cougar. And, you know, at the bar there, and I thought she was great. I liked her. And then yeah, obviously did need to mention him, Jason Ritter. Laura Linney, man, I might be confusing her. Oh no, Laura Linney was well, maybe we haven't met her yet.
No, she's in the trailer though. She's
okay.
She's like a guardian or something. She's one of the lantern type people that's above them.
Okay. Well, yeah. I know her, and this is what was throwing me, because she is Wendy in Ozark. Do you know who else is in Ozark?
Jason Bateman.
And
I don't know shit about fuck.
I was just going to say, admit it, John. You don't know shit about fuck.
I'm blanking on her name, but
Julia Garner, who plays
Julia
Ruth.
Garner. That's right.
She is great. She is a great actress. So I'm very much looking forward to Laura.
Oh, I love Laura Linney.
Even though I hadn't seen her in this episode yet, but it does say Nathan Fillion and Laura Linney. Who Nathan Fillion mentioned? Nathan Fillion didn't show up yet, and neither did Laura Linney. But it shows on IMDb they're in 7 episodes, so we're going to be getting them this week coming up. Something to look
forward to. Because it's interesting because it's Jon Stewart is 9 episodes. You know, Hal Jordan.
And so 8. I looked, and there is an error there. Somebody created season 2 episode 1 and put him in there, but I think it's erroneous. So there's 8 episodes in this season, and he is in all 8. Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler, Kelly McDonald, Garrett Dillahutt, they're all of our main characters are in all 8 episodes. And J. Alphonse Nicholson, I think, is that the dad?
Yeah, John Senior. Yeah,
John Senior. Yeah, okay. He did a great job. I am very particular about television Marines. I so many times you see TV or movies portraying Marines and they get it wrong. I thought he did a good job with that. So as a Marine veteran myself, I appreciate the role that he played there. So but that's all I personally wanted to mention on this. The Sinestro, that character, I don't know the character. So I don't have anything really to comment on that. And maybe I've seen that actor somewhere before, but I don't recognize him. So I don't know if I need to be looking forward to him as an actor or just the character.
We'll do a quick click on him and let's see here.
He's in 10 episodes of Blacklist. Oh, he was also in Banshee. 38. Oh, he's a bad guy in Banshee. Oh, okay. Have you ever watched Banshee, John?
I have not, but look at what other movie he's in. And look who directed it.
Run. Oh, Uwe Boll movie. Oh, poor guy. I kid.
Dare you?
I kid.
Absolutely dare you, sir.
Run. Didn't you just interview Uwe Boll for that movie?
Yes, I did. Not for Run, for a Citizen Vigilante.
Well, but before when you interviewed him,
for Run and a couple other things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it looks like he's been in a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with. It could be British, maybe, or something.
Well, it makes sense. He is what says he graduated from the Danish National School of Theater. So he's European, and with a name like Ulrich Thompson, he is definitely a European. So would not be surprising that he would work with Uwe Boll.
And he was in a Nicolas Cage movie too, Season of the Witch.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a lot of good actors to look forward to. Most we've already seen, a couple more that we'll get introduced to as this season goes on, and I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed it, and looking forward to more.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. So shall we wrap it up?
We promise the next the other 7 episodes of this will not be as long. Maybe the last episode, because it'll be a recap of the whole season. But yeah, we had to get through talking about a lot of things that we won't need to talk about next week. So I'm glad we're doing this. I'm looking forward to it. And
yeah, me too. I'm really, even with my iffy stuff, I enjoyed the first episode, and I'm looking forward to the second one. So
nice.
Yeah,
I will expect some green behind you next week.
I'll have to see, what can I do for green? I don't really have green, but I could probably find something.
Do something.
Look
at me. I'm all green. I'm all greened out, man.
You're like a leprechaun.
I almost went and put on a green shirt, but I was too lazy to do that.
So yeah, well, putting on clothes is quite the trial. So.
John is probably naked from the waist down, just so everybody knows that.
Oh, that's why I'm not getting up until we're off. Yeah.
Balls dripping sweat all over that seat and everything. Yeah.
Thank you, James Gunn. Yeah. This was a family video.
No, it wasn't. But it's been fun, John.
Yes,
I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, so am I. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Thumbs up, all that good stuff. And let us know down below. Have you watched Lanterns? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you know Green Lantern? Do you like the Ryan Reynolds movie? All that. Let us know down below. And if anything is interesting, maybe we can even comment on it. Let people know if we're crazy or not, if we're enjoying it. So. Yeah. But okay, everybody, see you on the next video. Thank you, OGP, for being here, and we will be back on the next video. So bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.